rely on. So whether it's a bridge, a manufacturing plant or power system or even a software driver, the automation line safety is non-negotiable, right? So now you must ask, it's not safety the job of the design team, right? But ensuring safety is a shared responsibility. And this is where safety auditors come in. Regarding that, we have discussed about previously 2 to 3 sessions also. In that continuations, they act as a critical checkpoint to ensure that safety is not just written in the plans, but actually implemented on the ground. So in this sessions, we talk about who safety auditors are, what they do, how they help control risk and enforce compliance, then the tools they use and the challenge they face. At most important, how the engineers like you will work with them. So by the end of the sessions, we will have a clear understanding of why the safety auditing is not just the regulatory formalities, it is essential the pillar of responsible engineering. So we can discuss about one to one. Yes. Let's begin by understanding why safety is so important in engineering. Engineering project, whether it is a construction site or a chemical plant or a transportation system, it involves significant technical complexity, human involvement, and also some potential hazards. A small oversight in design, materials, or procedure can lead to accident, financial losses, as well as even the loss of life also. So this is why the safety is a fundamental responsibility in engineering, not just to comply with law, but to protect worker, user, and also the public. So now, when we talk about compliance, we are referring to adhere to legal regulatory and industry standards also, like OSHA, ISO 45001, or national safety codes. These standards are designed to minimize the risk and ensure a baseline of protection. But compliance alone is not enough. That's where risk control comes in, going beyond just following the rules and the activity identifying and mitigating potential problems before they happen. So this proactive mindset is critical in complex projects. So and that lead us today now. So the today topic, that's why the safety auditors. These are the professional whole job. The professional host job is to ensure that compliance is maintained, risk are managed, and the safety is not compromised at any stage of the project. So the definition of the safety auditors, the safety auditor is a professional responsible for evaluating how well organization complies with health and safety regulations, standards, and initial safety policies also. Their major job is identify the risk, assess the current safety measures, as well as the right safety measures, and ensure the safety practice are being followed at the workplace. Think of the safety auditor as the quality control expert, but for safety systems. They help prevent accident, injuries, legal liabilities, and even costly shutdowns by spotting hazards before they become serious problems. So now you hope understand what is the definition of safety auditor. It's a professional responsible person for evaluating how well organization complies with health and safety regulations. That's it. So, what is the role and qualification of safety auditors? The conduct safety inspections, then a review of safety documents, then identify non-compliance, then some recommendations for improvement purpose, then conduct risk assessment, then proper audit report, then all the things should be followed up. This is the basic roles of safety auditors. And the qualification of the safety auditor also, the technical background is such as the degree of diploma in engineering, safety management, or industrial hygiene. These are the technical qualification need for qualification of safety auditor, as well as they want to procure some professional certification also. For example, ISO 40001 lead auditor, or also certifications, even that NIBOSH, right? The NIBOSH certifications are often required. Uh, Today I'm taking this topic not only to share that safety auditor things only, even this is the sessions to create the awareness of future career of the uh, engineers also. You having that lot of opportunity is that to enter their safety auditing area. Okay, so these are the certificates also available, frequently available in many of the institutions, especially online Swayam portal and PTL also, these much of courses available. So if you side by side, you just to get it, this certificate, it's helpful for your future career also. So the strong knowledge of local and the industrial safety standards, then analytical skills to access the risk and data, even the communication skill to deliver their clarity of management and staff. Then sometimes the companies also train their experienced engineers or supervisors to take on safety auditor responsibility, especially in internal audit role. So these are the qualifications mainly needed for safety auditors. Then what is the independent and industrial internal auditors versus? Now let's clarify the difference between independent and internal auditors. First, we can see that internal auditors. These are employees of the organization. They perform audit as a part of a routine internal control. They understand the company culture and process well. So, however, they might be biased or limited in their recommendations due to internal politics or pressure, right? It's agreeable one. If you go for independent auditors, these are external professionals or consultants. They provide a fresh as well as unbiased perspective, because those people not related to the company or institution. So unbiased perspective, they can possible to proceed. Then they often specialize in auditing and bring in best practice from other companies also. Their report may carry more weightage in legal or regulatory context. Actually, to compare the internal audit, right, the independent auditors reports, it's helpful for not only the institutions, even the many association, the safety institution also, just to be agreed in the time of to giving their ISO, we get it some accreditations. It's helpful for us. So the both types are important only. The internal audit help with regular monitoring. Independent audit, we can't possible to regular monitoring. It's okay, the aggregation purpose. Another thing is yearly ones. We can possible to arrange the independent auditors. but the regular monitoring 15 days once or monthly once, frequently to follow up everything, the internal auditor is best. So both the auditors are important only, while independent auditor help with creditability, compliance, as well as the benchmarking also. Then what is the responsibility of safety auditors? The evaluating safety systems review the overall architecture of the company's safety management systems, check whether policies, procedures, training, even the emergency response plan and documentations actually work together in practice. In high pressure boiler plant, the auditor trace how to permit to work. We can say that now engineering short form PTW, right? The permit to work. So the procedure flows from request to closer. They compare the written PTO form with what operators really do on the shop floor. So spot missing signatures and verify that isolation values then are included in the lockout and tagout checklist also. So second, the inspect engineering process, observe day by day operations, maintaining tasks, startup, shutdown sequence, and testing procedures. Then verify that machines, tools, control system meet design specifications and legal standards also. Then the identifying hazards also one of the responsibility of safety auditors. They systematically look for unsafe conditions and unsafe acts also. Use methods such as we can say that bow die analysis or simple checklist. Some of the method is depending on complexity. We can use such a methods also. In robotic cells, the auditor noticed that the light certain guardians on one robot arms is positioned too close or the pinch point right, so leaving only 30 cm of stopping distance instead of mandated 1.3 meters for the robot declaration profile. So they classify this as a high risk of crush injury. So another thing is that responsibility is recommended corrective actions also. You know that the compare the actual to standard having their deviation, definitely we need their some recommendations. That recommendations it's including for corrective actions. The example, the translating findings into specific actionable and the prioritized measures, there's balance technical feasibility, cost, and the production impacts. So the safety auditors don't just find the problems, right? They quantify the risk and propose the concentrate engineers friendly solution that keep people safe and keep productions on time also. So your role as a future engineer is to engage with auditors, supply accurate data and champion those corrective actions also. So what is the type of safety audit? We having there few types. First one is we can understand the type of auditors. These types differ based on purpose, scopes, and who perform them. We can see one by one. First one is internal audit, the conducted by the organization own employees. Because the internal auditor is a part of the employee of the institution or organization, often safety officers or trained supervisors, used for routine checks and continuous improvement. Example, on internal safety of officers, check routine compliance and log out, tag out practices in a maintained department every month. Then external auditor, It's called for independent auditor, right? The previously we can discuss the performance, performed by independent auditor is normally for third party. So offer a neutral, unbiased evaluation. It's possible for conduct the audit by independent auditor. I mean the external auditor. Example, the company preparing for ISO 45001 certifications, so hired on accredited external auditor to assess their occupational safety system, still to get that certification. Then compliance audit, it's focused on regulatory requirements, checking whether legal safety standards are being met. May be conducted internally or by regulators like OSHA or a state authority, whatever may be. Example, a chemical plant is audited to ensure it comply with hazardous materials storage and emergency evaluation laws. Then a fourth one is the process or system audit. The review whether specific safety systems or engineering process are effectively and integrated properly. Emphasize process safety control mechanisms and preventive systems. Example, on auditor review the safety interlock system only. I mean, of your pressurized vessels or check SOP for system overrides, especially the particular process we just to be audited means that is process auditor. For last one is behavioral based safety audit. We can shortly say that BBS. That is the behavioral safety based audit, that is focused on human behavior, how the workers actually behave on site versus what procedure required. Useful in building a cultural of safety. Example, on observed drugs, how often technicians use fault protections, hazardness when plumbing structures and gives anonymous feedback. So these are the types are available in the safety audit. Next, move on to the what are the phases available in the safety audit. First one is define audit objectives, scope, and criteria. That is planning phases. Second one is the select audit team, prepare the checklist, schedule site visit also happening in the planning phase. Then finally, review past incident and the previous audit. It's also happening in the planning part. So the planning phase happened for define audit objective, scope and criteria, select audit team, then prepare the checklist, some schedules, then review the past incident and the previous audit. Everything is happen in the planning phase. Here, I just to give one tips for engineer. This is where your process data, SOP and system diagrams will be required, right? The SOP is nothing. It's standard operating procedures. So second one is execution phase. The site inspection, the document review and interviews, everything happen in the execution phase. Then observe practice, verify compliance, even identify the hazards. Then collective evidence, photos, measurement, logbooks. This is also for executive phase. So example, on auditor, check a machine shop for grid, grid drill or spill containment and some correct signatures also. Signal also. These are the things comes to the execution phase. Then if you go for reporting phase, it is the third stage of safety auditors also. That is preparing a formal audit report highlight non-compliance risk and best practices, because based on that report only, the management should be take the corrective actions. So here the reporting systems recommended the corrective actions with the timelines. When the corrective actions want to be doing, that things also want to be including in the reporting part. Final phases follow up, verify implementation of corrective actions, then conduct re-inspection if needed, then partial audit if needed, then ensure that lessons learned are shared across the items. So example, if a fire exit, right, was blocked during the audit, so follow confirmations that it is now cleared, marked and monitored. So this is the follow-up phases. Then as a future engineer, your design, maintenance schedule and the operational choices will directly impact the safety. So understanding these types and phases of audit help you contribute proactively, whether you are responding to an audit or preparing your team for one. Safety is not just for auditors' jobs, it is everyone's responsibility, right? You only want to be ensure this culture to the institution. Next, importance of compliance. So what is the importance of compliance in the safety auditor's view? First one is legal and regulatory framework. OSHA as well as ISO 45001. It's ensure that legal and regulatory framework. Based on that, we have going to discuss of the compliance part. So the compliance starts with understanding with rules apply to your organization or project. Then, the OSHA in US regulatory body, that, but it's applied for overall global institutions or industries, right? The previously many times I'm just to expand that word of OSHA. I hope that you remember that, right? Anyone, can you please unmute and expand the word of OSHA? Okay. Occupational Safety and Health Administration, right? So the OSHA sets mandatory safety standards for workplace, then covering areas like machines, guarding, fault protections, even chemical handling also. So another one, ISO 45001. This is the international standard for occupational health and safety management systems. It provides a framework to proactively manage risk and improve safety culture. Then other frameworks also included factories at boiled regulations, even some equipment standard also involved in the regulatory compliance. If you are building a pressure vessels or falling to follow that some OSHA standards could not only lead to the explosion, but also the criminal liability for the company and the engineers involved. Second importance of compliance is avoid legal liabilities. Non-compliance can be costly and damaging. You know very well about that. Yes, it's not just financially, but even legally and also personally affect the company brands also. So the fines and penalties, the regulatory bodies can impose huge fines for violations, even the work stoppages also. The project can be cancelled are handled due to the unsafe conditions. Then civils and criminal lawsuits also, injuries or fatalities can lead to court cases also. Then reputational damage also. The company is seen as unsafe, loss contract and public trust. In 2020, no, a chemical plant explosion in India was tracked back to poor storage and non-compliance with temperature monitoring protocols. The several managers were arrested and the plant was shut down. That cases is very famous for that in the 2020. It's happened in the India, right? So the third one is enhanced project liability and trust also. When a company constantly complies with safety standards, it's built a reputation for professionalism, reliability, and responsibility also. The client trusts that the project will be completed without delay from safety incidents. The workers feel more secure and perform better in a safety first culture. So the investor partners and government agencies are more likely to approve of funding or collaborations. As an engineers, your design must meet compliance standards, not just to pass the inspection, but to ensure they are safe, reliable, and maintenance also. For example, a well-designed electrical panel that follow ISO standard won't just be safer. It will be reduced downtime as well as the increase the system life also. So the compliance is not about just ticking the boxes. It's about engineering with responsibility. So ensuring that people go home safe, safety, run, reliability, and your work stand up to legal and ethical form. So next we can move on to the risk control through auditing. So the auditing main purpose is one is to find the compliance. Second one is the risk control through auditing, right? Risk control. The two reasons mainly we are go for auditing. So second one is now we can see the second one risk control. So now look at how the safety auditor play a direct role in risk control, especially in technical field like engineering where hazards can escalate quality if not addressed yearly. So the yearly risk identification, the first and most valuable outcome of the safety audit is spotting potential risk before they lead to accident. So the auditor observe equipment conditions, worker behavior, and procedural gaps that may not be obvious to those working in your system daily. So this is often called a leading indicator on yearly signal that something could go wrong even before an accident or failure occurs. So an auditor noticed wear and tear on a grain load chain during a routine inspection, even though there has not been a failure yet. So this yearly finding helps prevent a future accident involving heavy loading falling in a workshop. So second one is risk categorization. You know that risk mainly having three classifications. Uh, it's based on the severity. For example, high risk, medium risk, low risk, right? So the high risk, immediate danger to life or property. Example, flammable gas leak, everything comes to high risk. Medium risk may causes injury or disruption over timing. Example, block exit, poor lighting. Then go for low risk, the minor compliance issues or potential near misses. Example, unlabeled storage comes under the low risk. These are the risk categorization. The risk metrics like 5 into 5 security. We can say that that is likelihood grid are often used to visualize and communicate the level of risk also. So an exposed rotating safe without a guard is rated as high risk due to its likelihood of contact and severity of injury, whereas a slightly outdated safety sign may be marked as a low risk and fixed later. So this way we can possible the safety audit helpful for converting their high risk to low risk. Then strategies for mediation also. The most important part of any audit is what you do with the findings. So, and that where risk mitigation comes in. So the auditors recommended strategies such as engineering controls, administrative controls, even substitutions, even the maintaining schedules also. Example that engineering control modify the machinery, install barriers, even the automate shutdowns also. The administrative control area revise the procedures, retain the staff, as well as they improve the supervisions. Then substitutions, replace the hazardous material process with safer alternatives, maintenance scheduling, fix faculty equipment before it create a hazard. If a noise level above 95 dB na, so it's found in a metal fabrication area. So the auditor may recommend closing the noisy equipment. That is, we can say that engineering control. Adjusting work shift to reduce the explore time. That is administrative control. We can say that. So think of audit is not just on inspection, but also the preventing the engineering tools. When risks are found yearly, as well as the categorized clearly and managed strategically, so you avoid the incident and build a safer, more efficient workplace. So the auditing is helpful for control the risk. Then what is the tools and techniques used for safety auditing? Let's now explore the practical tools and techniques safety auditors use during the audit. These are essential for identifying the hazards, evaluating the systems, and ensuring compliance, especially in technical environments like engineering plant or construction sites. You just think that these tools and techniques the engineering students use just to definitely this is helpful for little bit promotion for your career, for your future company also, right? Because you aware that system, so it's helpful for internal audit. The companies, it's involving you as an internal auditor. So you taking that extra assignment in company is helpful for 2 to 3 ways. One is promotional purpose. Second one is that income. They are giving some extra remuneration for the extra assignment, right? Another thing is if you are involving their inspection parts, many people are giving respect to you. Even some of the people just to see something about afraid also, right? Because your report is matter for management. So it is one of the chance to getting you to meet the management also. So these are the tools and techniques you at least you must be aware. If possible to get it 1 or 2 certifications regarding their tools and techniques also. First, we can just to see about what is the checklist and the inspection forms involved in the safety audit. The first, the one of the most basic and powerful tool auditor use the checklist. These help standardized inspections, ensuring that no key element is overlooked, and even in complex systems. Checklists are often based on regulatory standards like ISO 45001, OSHA, or company-specific procedures. I know that a mechanical safety checklist for a machine shop must include or rotating part properly working, is emergency stop easily accessible and functionable, or pressure calibrated within in a safety limit or not. So these forms are helpful for record findings, mark compliance status, and assess uh, action items. So the checklist is most important. Checklist and the inspection form is most important to maintain their every safe auditors. The checklist is, if you want to get it, the website of ISO 45001 and OSHA, even the many internal auditors, they want to be create own checklist also. Second one is risk assessment matrix. The one hazards are identified, the auditor often use risk matrix to prioritize them. This matrix plot a likelihood, example, rare or frequent, against severity, like minor to catastrophic. Then the resulting risk level also low, medium, high, extreme. So guide how extremely action should be taken. So the example, if your chemical spill is likely due to poor drum storage and has severe sequence toxic exposure, the risk is marked as high. So and required immediate mitigation. So here the tips for you. Understanding how to use these matrix is valuable skill in engineering project management, especially for safety auditing. So another one is EHS management software. That is E, it's indicating their environment, H notable for health, and S notable for safety. So EHS management software in larger or technical survey organizations, the audit are often conducted digitally using EHS software platforms. Example, it include SAB, EHS available, then Intel EX available, then some cloud platforms also available. These softwares are helpful for digitally to monitor the safety auditing systems. Then these tools help to manage for audit scheduling, digital checklist, incident tracking, compliance report, analytical and dashboards also. So the EHS management software helpful for auditing digitally. So example, the engineering plant might use EHS software to automatically flag overdue inspections on lifting equipment and generate corrective actions workflow also. For example, the next month, the 20th, the inspection timing means this software giving we can possible to create their reminder, like alarm, even 2 days before we want to remember, or 1 week before we want to remember, what we want to remember, whom to want to remember, how to remember, all those things. It's just an example. So all those things is possible for digital auditing systems. So you can just to be get its certificate through some software system also. For example, a SAB EHS, you get it now, it's a 3-month course. You get it SAB EHS, automatically you having there, you can possible to do your job in the independent auditing also. So lot of options are available, just to think that. Next one is interviews, observations, and document reviews. The auditors don't rely on paperwork alone. They also engage with people and observe real world practices. They interview, talking to engineers, operators, and supervisors, help verify if people understand and follow the procedures also. So here the observation is watching how work is actually performed, often reveals gap between policy and practice. So the document review is auditor check safety manuals, SOPs, the maintenance log, incident report, and training records also. So the auditing is both technical and human. It involves tools, softwares, and documents, but also observation and judgment also. So as engineer, you should be comfortable with both the analytical side as well as the practical side of auditing. So let's go for real world example. I'm just giving here the example for two situations. One is success due to timely audit intervention. Second one is failure due to lack of audit. Okay, the two situation I'm just to explaining you. First case is oil and gas. The location is Middle East. The year is 2019. What happened during a routine internal safety audit at an offshore drilling platform? The auditors identify abnormal vibration levels in the gas compressor. So the auditors should be find out during the auditing time. So further inspection revealed misalignment in the drive shift, so which if left unchecked could have led to catastrophic equipment failed and gas leak. So these are the findings found in the time of during the audit. So the audit action is issued a high risk finding with the immediate shutdown recommendations. So the maintenance team perform realignment and components replacement. So the root cause alignment also happened. So the revised vibration monitoring protocols also happened. So the outcome is averted a major fire or explosion, saved the companies. Even the audit also prompted the installation of real-time conditions monitoring sensor across similar equipment. You just to think that what we have learned from this incident, preventive audit don't ensure compliance. They give engineers the chance to intervene early and protect systems, assets, and lives of many humans, right? This is one of the examples, success due to timely audit intervention. The second example is failure due to lack of auditing. You know, the Visha gas leak incident also one of the example for failure due to lack of auditing, right? So the chemical manufacturing, the 2020 is happening in India, right? So here the problem is lack of auditing. So they want to find out their real problems because they won't audit, right? So in the time of before plant restart after COVID-19 shutdown, yes, so they want to take any auditing system. So the critical storage tank leaked proper temperature monitor, so automatically the consequence 20 plus death Yes, even 100,000 plus hospitalized due to gas inhalation. So the National Safety Council criticized the plan for weak audit and compliance process. The plan shut down permanently. Okay, the legal action followed. So the key learnings for hearers, the neglecting auditors can turn technical oversight into tragedies. You know that even it's happened before 5 years, I mean 5 years before, still we are getting their poor example for that incident. So automatically the company's names also should be spelled out. Even after 20 years after that, now we can get give that poor example of auditing for this much of example. So here we want to be understand not only the auditing, not only safeguard of the prevention, even the safeguard of the lives of many human, as well as it's protect the names of branding also. So these real life stories show us the safety auditing is not just a proper exercise. It is a life-saving process, whether you are designing the equipment or managing or maintenance or leading a team. Even the safety auditors will always be a part of your engineering journey, right? So finally, we can conclude that summary and key takeaways. Let's conclude today's session by summarize the most important point you should take with you as a future engineer, right? So the auditor or the key to project safety, because they play a critical role in ensuring engineering system, process and workplace and safe, efficient and legal compliance also. So their insights often prevent injuries, reduce shutdown time, and protect equipment and their reputation also. So think of them as partners who help keep system with accountable. So as an engineer, your design and operations will often be reviewed by these professionals. Your cooperation and attention details can make their job smoother and your projects stronger. So second one is they ensure compliance and minimize the risk. Whether it's meeting ISO 45001 standards or OSHA or local factory acts or internal politics or independent auditors help organizations stay aligned with the regulations. More importantly, they identify the mitigating risk before they become the problem through systematically tools like checkout, some find the matrix and root cause of the analysis also. Their work save time, money, as well as that human lives. For example, correcting on equipment fault after an audit finding is far better than after an accident. Then engineers must collaborate with auditors. The engineers and the auditors should not work in silos, right? It is a integral part. The engineers are one of the person who design, build, maintain, and operate the system. Your technical insight is essential during the audit. Then, when you communicate clearly, the document thoroughly, and respond actively to audit feedback, you create a cultural of trust and improvement. Then in many organizations, the engineers are even trained to conduct internal auditors. I previously told you having such a knowledge in auditing, so automatically the engineers are promoted. I mean, even trained to conduct internal audit themselves. It's valued and respectable skill also. You can include you having their skill of auditing means your resume should be valuable. So in engineering, safety is not optional, it is a duty. The auditor help upload their duty by working with them. You don't just pass inspection, you build better, safer, and more sustainable systems also. Just if I'm inviting few questions, before that, I want to share few things about that safety auditing. Just I'm sharing that sections. I'm just to highlighting here. This session's not only talking about the awareness of safety audit. This section is highlighted. It's creating you to aware about your future career. If you willing, you can possible to take their career for your life for the safety auditing. Another thing is, for example, if you having their idea to start your own startup or something, right, you can act as a independent auditors, right? You just to select 4 to 5 companies, your interventions will be there, means you can get it. For example, in per year, minimum 10 medium level companies, MSME, you find it for independent audit. You acting as an independent audit, you can get it more than 30 lakhs. Each companies, they can ready to pay minimum 3 lakhs. Okay, so 30 lakhs you can possible to get it. You are acting as an independent auditor. But you are acting as an independent auditor, you want to be registered your name as a registered auditor. So if you want a registered auditor for OSHA or ISO 45001, you need some qualification. You just to meet out some qualifications, right? That qualification to get it 2 to 3 certificate, is it possible? It is possible. Another thing is some more options also available. If any one persons are working in any one companies or in future na, so you can choose that option also. You procure, you get a 2 to 3 certificates regarding their safety audit. You can possible to act as a internal auditor of any companies. So you can act as an internal auditor. It is a respectable skills also. So automatically it's helpful for your performance analysis system should be increased. So these are the options are available for the safety auditing. Okay. Now if you having any questions, please. No one having any questions?
My own and
Yeah, please. You don't have any questions, please leave the meeting. But I'm expecting at least 2 to 3 questions from your side. I hope that you are clearly understand the questions, understand the sessions also, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, it's clear. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Please welcome. Do you have any interest of at least after the completion of the section, at least 1 or 2 people just to think that we want to go for join at least 1 or 2 certificate courses? But it is not a biggest deal. The courses are available for SWAYAM and even NPTEL courses, even the course era also. First you want to be get the certificate, then only you can possible for registered. Okay, everything available in the open search engine
like
also.
if it is like as girl,
Yes. Okay, please welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, yes, we are taking some extra courses. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
especially on the lead auditor.
Oh,
I
very good,
just
very
did
good.
mine a few months ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Very good.
so everything you are explaining, it's all right. It's correct. They seem like they explained to
Even
us during the course.
okay, thank you. Actually, if possible, you join the NIBOS course. Okay, it's an emergency course nowadays. NIBOS,
Yeah, sure, sure.
NEBOSH. Okay, it's very helpful for engineers.
Yeah, sure, sure. Thank you.
Please welcome. Yeah, fees is nothing. Just for if you join this YM now, only for 1,000 rupees. It's free of cost. Only you are pay that examination timing for online. But if you go for NIBOS in that registered institution, it's maybe take for 20,000, 30,000 like that. 2 month, 3 month courses. It's available for online also. Even you know that OSHA websites, you refer it. It's a free courses also available sometimes. Even some of the local body, local regulatory of India or some state governments also just to having their, I mean, giving some opportunity to engineers to join their some courses. So you search it, you get that idea. But if you go for join some private institution, they will get it for 20,000, 30,000 for that courses. But first you can start initially for SWAYAM and PTL for small courses. It's for a more than 12, 2 months courses, only for online. You get the video, everything free of cost, only during the examination. That examination also online examination, 1 hour examination. You complete that examination, automatically you get it certificate through mail. Swayam and PTL, course era, you just to search it. NPTL Swayam, it's only for exam fees. Hardly 1,000 rupees, that's it. No for any course fees. SWAYAM, Swayam, you search it. Or NEPTL, not NTPL, NEPTL. Thank you. We can see for that next week. Okay, bye bye. Have a nice day.